Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Keith Rockdale Bone, a mechanic of 40 years in the trade, and I want to talk to you today about transmission service. If everybody serviced their transmission every 50 to 60 to 70,000 miles, there wouldn't be a transmission shop in business. The reason the transmission shops are in business is because everybody neglects to service their transmission. Not all cars can be serviced. You have to take it to a technician, but a lot of them you can do yourself. But what I mean is, every car that can be serviced, service your transmission at least every 50 to 60,000 miles. And there's two services to that. The old-fashioned service is the one that I do a lot of, where you pull the pan, you change the pan gasket, the filter, and the fluid. Now, doing it that way, you don't get the fluid out of the torque converter. So you would have to do it 2 or 3 times to get that fluid out. But one time is really enough. The other way is if you take it to a shop and they do it on a machine. They hook the lines to the cooler lines on the radiator going to the transmission, and they flush it. Basically, they pull all the fluid out of the car, put all new fluid back in it. But the difference of that is they're not changing the filter. So the old school way, if you can do it, not every car can be that way, pull the pan, drop the pan, the filter, the gasket, and the fluid, change that, fill it back up with fluid, whatever, how many ever quarts you need, and that should take care of it. A lot of guys I've heard talk about the CVT transmissions. The CVT transmission, my son has one. And we bought the car, it had about 90,000 miles on it, and they said, well, you'll be lucky if you get 120,000 out of it. Today, he is at 285,000 miles on the original CVT transmission, and it still pulls and runs great because I serviced it every 25,000 miles. I just did a drain and flush. Now, every once in a while, I would pull the pan and change the filter, but I did that maybe 2 or 3 times. But the rest of the time, just pull the drain plug on the bottom of the transmission, put it back in, fill it full of fluid, and you're good to go. So don't let anybody tell you the CVT transmission's junk. As long as you service it and take care of it, it'll last you. That's with any car. Keep your transmission serviced. That's a lot of things that people they neglect to do, is to service the transmission. The other key to the transmission is in the wintertime when it's cold, I don't care what kind of car it is, what kind of transmission you got, always crank your car up and let it warm up in the wintertime. The worst thing you can do is crank one up while it's cold, throw it in gear, and take off down the road. You can't do that. You got to at least let the car warm up maybe 5 to 10 minutes, let all the fluids get warm, the seals get warm, expand, that sort of thing. Never get in a car, crank it up, throw it in gear when it's ice cold, and take off down the road, especially in the wintertime. Summer's not so bad, but in the wintertime, at least let your car warm up, let your transmission warm up, and I promise you, your transmission will last a lot longer. Hey, I'm the 40-year experienced mechanic. I'm only going to lead you in the right direction, tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And I have no reason to tell you any different. Y'all have a